selfonlinestudy.com. Solutions for smarter student. Welcome to selfonlinestudy.com. Methodical and intelligent learning solutions for student. Inspiring students across the globe on virtual learning and practice mock tests for final exam. Subscribe our YouTube channel and refer your friends to get bonus points and redeem the courses with zero cost.
Hello students. So science. Why do we study science? Because we human beings are always curious to know the truth of the natural phenomena like periodic repetition of sunrise and sunset, color of sky, periodic motion of moon and so on. So it is basically the intellectual and practical activities surrounding the systematic study of structure and behavior of the physical and natural world through careful observations and experiments over a period of time. Okay. Now science is generally classified in two major groups. Okay. What are those groups? First one, natural science. This is related to natural phenomena including biological life. And second one is social science. This is related to human behavior and societies. Okay. Now come to one branch of science, that is physics. Although it is related to other branches directly or indirectly. So physics is basically the study of nature and its laws. So we want to find the basic laws which govern all the phenomena happening around us throughout our life. Examples like why does apple fall from a tree? Why do people can swim in water? Why do raindrops fall gently on earth? Okay, so these are the things. Another one, how do birds can fly in the sky? So nowadays we know that the basic laws are like gravitational law, electrostatic laws, Newton's laws, relativistic laws, etc. You know about these, okay, their names. Now come to, these are the three things: physics, chemistry and biology. Okay, three streams of science, they are related to each other. Okay, there are many streams nowadays like biochemistry, okay, like biophysics. Okay, so they are related to each other. Okay, next, different fields of physics. Different fields of physics like macroscopic domain. In macroscopic domain, we will deal with classical physics, mechanics, electrodynamics, optics and thermodynamics. Okay, these, in this domain we deal with this kind of object, those we can see with our bare eyes. And second one, microscopic domain, includes quantum physics, laser physics, nuclear physics, atomic molecular physics, etc. Okay, here in this domain we deal with those kind of particles which we cannot see with our bare eyes. Okay, next come to scope and excitement of physics. We have lots of scope in this subject. We can do many excited experiments for our children. Physics always wants the answer of many whats and whys. We can give those answers after doing many experiments. Okay, many of you know about the experiment of simple pendulum, experiment of Faraday's electromagnetic induction, the Archimedes experiment with golden crown, etc. Okay, so here look some thing. The fall of an apple on Newton's head led him to the idea of Earth's gravity. Second one, the swing of a lamp having in a church led Galileo to a time measuring device. Another one, the rattling of a lid of kettle caused the invention of steam engine. Another, the phenomena of surface tension came into light by the simple observation of spherical size of raindrops. Okay, so uh, these are the different experiments, and from this experiment we got different new things in nature. Okay, next come to role of physics in technology. Okay, nowadays we deal with the nature and find the truth, and then we use this truth in technology. Now, rocket, heat engine, refrigerator, electric bulb, radio, television, phone, laser, nuclear reactor, calculator, computer, those are governed by different physical laws. Okay, these are written here: rocket by Newton's laws of gravitation, heat engine, principle of thermodynamics, radio, television, governed by propagation of electromagnetic waves, and so on. So in all fields we relate physics with technology. These all technology are invented for the human beings, for the upgradation of our lives. So physics generates technology, and technology is for human civilization. Okay, next come to fundamental forces of nature. Okay, there are four fundamental forces in nature. Those are gravitational force, second one electromagnetic force, third one strong nuclear force, and fourth one weak nuclear force. Okay, these are the only four forces which governs all the laws, all the explanations in physics. Okay, so first one, gravitational force. What is this? This force is basically the interaction between two objects which have their masses. Okay, interaction between masses, you can tell. So the mathematical expression is this: F is equal to G m1 m2 by r square. M1 m2 are the masses of two objects, and r is the distance between two objects. And G is the universal gravitational constant. Its value is 6.67 10 to the power minus 11 Newton meter square by kg square. Okay, we will read about this thing in more deep in the chapter gravitation. Now properties, first one is this is always attractive. Okay, no repulsive. Second one, obey inverse square law. When the force obey inverse square law, that means that force is central force. Okay, next, long range force. If two objects are at very large distance, then there will also be a gravitational force. And last one, it is the weakest force in nature. Okay, gravitational force is the weakest force among the four forces in nature. Next, electromagnetic force. Electromagnetic force, there are two things: electric force and magnetic force. So electric force and magnetic force are not two different forces, they are related to each other. These two forces are two aspects, different aspects of electromagnetic force. Electric force means when two charges are at rest, then we get electric force. Okay, if two charges are in motion, then we also get electric force. But if two charges are in motion, then we again get magnetic force also. Okay, when two charges are in motion, they will attract each other using magnetic force also. Okay, attract or repel. So electric and magnetic force are not different, those are two aspects of the same force. Now come to properties. First one, attractive or repulsive, because similar kind of charges repel each other and opposite kind of charges attract each other. Second one, follow inverse square law. Okay, follow inverse square law means central force, and central force means conservative in nature. We will know about this thing. What do you mean? What is the meaning of conservative force? Next, it operates sufficiently long distances. And then examples of electromagnetic forces. First one, force between two surfaces in contact. This is governed by electromagnetic force. Second one, tension in a string or a rope. The tension, sometimes we read it as a tension force, but it comes from the electromagnetic force. Okay. Next, strong nuclear force. Okay, strong nuclear force, it only applicable within the nucleus of atom. Inside the nucleus there are protons and neutrons. Protons are positively charged and neutrons are neutral. So protons are positively charged means they can repel each other due to electric force. Okay, but there is a force inside the nucleus which is stronger than that repulsive force which hold them together inside the nucleus, that is nuclear force. Okay, so look at the properties. First one, basically attractive force so that they can hold them together. Second one, do not obey inverse square law here. Do not obey, that means not central, non-central and non-conservative. And it is extremely short range force, acts over 10 to the power minus 15 meter range, which is the dimension of the nucleus basically. Okay, so inside the nucleus we can get this force only, outside the nucleus we cannot get. Okay, and last one, it is the strongest force found in nature. Gravitational force is the weakest force and strong nuclear force is the strongest force found in nature. Next, weak nuclear force. What does this mean? It is the mechanism of interaction between subatomic particles. Nowadays, I think you know that the electrons can be divided. Okay, mesons, leptons. There are many subatomic particles. That is the particles, subatomic particles, interaction between those subatomic particles that causes radioactive decay and thus plays an essential role in nuclear fission. I think you know about the nuclear fission, fusion. Okay. Next, come to some general conservation laws in nature. I think you all have read about few conservation laws in nature. If I asked you tell some conservation laws in nature, you can tell 3-4 conservation laws. Okay, I hope you can tell. So those conservation laws here one by one. First one, conservation of mechanical energy. Mechanical energy means what? Kinetic energy and potential energy, right? So conservation of mechanical energy means total kinetic plus potential energy will remain constant, and there is a condition to get this mechanical energy conserved. So that condition is the motion should be under an external conservative force. Okay, you have done that derivation. When a particle is dropped from a height at any point of its motion, of its path, the total energy remains constant, that is mgh. Okay, here that particle is moving under the gravitational force. Gravitational force is a conservative force. Okay, so here we get that thing, conservation of mechanical energy. Second one, conservation of total energy in an isolated system. Isolated means it will not interact with the outside world. Okay, total energy will remain constant. Inside that system, energy can be transformed from one form to the other form. Okay, but the total energy in a total energy means total form of energy will remain constant. Third one, conservation of mass plus energy. Okay, that is delta E equal to delta M into C square. This is basically Einstein mass energy relationship. Okay, here this amount of mass is converted into this amount of energy. Okay, into C square we will get energy. Next, conservation of momentum, that means total momentum remain constant before and after collision. Okay, here also we have a condition to get this conservation of momentum. The condition is there will not be any external force acting on an object. Okay, no external force acting on an object, then we will get conservation of momentum, and this thing we will see in Newton's laws chapter. Okay, the laws of motion or Newton's laws chapter. And the last one, conservation of charge. Charge can neither be created nor destroyed. You know this thing, charge can neither be created nor destroyed. You have read. That is conservation of charge. This thing you have done in class 10 whenever you were doing the alpha decay, beta decay equations. In those equations we match the mass number and atomic number on both sides of the equation. That means we match the charge on both sides. Okay, that means there is a conservation of charge. Total charge before transformation and total charge after transformation remains conserved. Okay, so this is basically conservation of charge. So this is our thing of first chapter, physical world. We have known here about few things which we will deal in chapter by chapter throughout our class 11 and 12. Okay.
Thanks for watching our video. Subscribe our YouTube channel and refer your friends to get bonus points and redeem the courses with 0 cost.